So I want to make a quick video about the car so far. Now, we've got the axles obviously fixed on. In terms of progress since the last club, the car itself hasn't changed much, but components of it have. So, it's got the same shape. We've got the front support, obviously, for to hold the front axle in. We've got the rear one, keep the rear one in place, because before we had this was wobbling a fair bit, and we were worried that it was going to probably break. So now we've got an axle going down here, which is screwed into this bit here, and same on the other side. Car shape has slightly been altered to make it more rounded around the edges. Very slight though. These have been cut down a slight bit. These hard blocks here. The main bit we did was the rear of the car here. Now our problem was, what I noticed was that because the way this car was quite thin, it actually did let in light. And I was kind of worried about that. I'm not sure many pieces of wood let in light, so we just applied a bit of wood filler inside to keep it strong. It's very hard. That will keep it from being shot. And now if I hold up to the light, there's no light getting through, so that's good. Right, as for the components of the car, previously we had these. Now these are the 6 wheels we made. Strangely, we made 6 wheels. But anyway, so we got these two, and the 2 largest ones. So I assume these ones were a mistake. We need large ones or the small ones. So I'm going to put these to the side for now. The problem was with this was too small, and the smaller ones were too big, which meant the car was pretty much touching the ground first of all, so not good to start with, but also it was lifting up, which is not another good thing. So we had to rethink this. Now we had a few options. Cut these out again. It's quite a lot of work, but luckily people at Armada actually provided us with some wheels. They kindly gave us some wheels from their laser cutting machines, which can cut aluminium. So we got some aluminium wheels, and I'm just going to show you one of them. Alright, this wheel is rear wheel. It is larger than the current one. So slightly bigger, but actually it's quite a fair bit bigger. Just line up the centres. Yeah, a bit bigger, but it does make a difference because we need all the clearance on the bottom as we need. Now, in the middle of this, I've actually put in one of the bearings. Now, there's no glue used or anything. Here's one about the bearing, and then the bearing itself is here. And so there's no bearing, and the bearing in this one. Right, the way I did this was, first of all, this bearing does not fit in that hole. We specifically designed it like that to give it a nice fit. Does not fit. No matter how much force you put on it, that's not going to fit. What we had to do, obviously, since it doesn't fit, I had to file out the middle, so to make it fit. But even then, while filing, I didn't go all the way so that it would just fall through, because that won't be good either. So I filed it until it was just about to fit, and then heated the wheel up, because obviously aluminium, which means as you heat it up it expands and you can push the bearing through. So push the bearing through, and it was about halfway through. So right now it's all the way through, but it was about halfway through once I heated it up and pushed it through. Then what I had to do was put it into a vise, clamp it up, and just force it in, and it worked. I tested this on an axle. This actually is free spinning. Let's see if So it's free spinning. Can't demonstrate it. That has worked, so that's not a good demonstration, but it works. So the bearing hasn't been distorted anyway. It still works as it should. And now I'm gonna have to do it on this wheel. We also have two smaller wheels, which are here for the front, and these ones are smaller than the current ones. And so we have all four wheels. We've got bearings, and we just put them in. It's a lot easier to work with aluminium than it is with glass fibre, because you won't be getting any shattering because it's aluminium. You can heat it up, you can file it much easier. So we've got our four wheels. Let's put them in the car. Now the car itself, by trying to put the wheels on, I actually damaged the heat shrink slightly here and here. Now what I wanted to do is first of all reapply the heat shrink. It's fairly simple. Just take the old one off, put the new one on. But like similar to we have at the front, but a bit more than that. As you can see, it's actually slightly gone over the axle, but I want a bit more than that. That gives us something to work with, so that we can easily push the wheel on without any like fraying or like being pushed back like this. So I'm going to reapply the heat shrink and stop it from fraying by putting a bit on the end. Also, if it doesn't fit and we also get this crumpling again, another possibility is to sand it down very slightly to allow it to fit, but also to make sure it just stays in place. We don't want it to move around. So here's our four wheels again, our old wheels, and the car petrol. That's it.